some judges' eyes, depending upon how they scored that round. And I could see that seemed to be a fairly close round. I could see where you could look at that and go, I'll give that to Meyer. Most judges don't like to call rounds even. They like to determine a winner of each round.
So we head toward round number 4 in our co-feature. Maple Grove girls basketball coach Mark Cook tuning in tonight says he thinks Pierzynski's got the fight. He said he thinks Pierzynski's going to win this one. His basketball team on a 6-game winning streak, by the way. Just crushed Blaine last night, 62-9. Wow. Back to matters at hand. Oh, Pierzynski with a nice overhand right. Charles backing up, and now I like what Charles does, right back at it, right back to the aggressor, takes an overhand right to the body. Oh, nice job there by Pierzynski. I like that little pitter-patter with the jab, trying to set something up.
Right. Looks like an accidental clash of heads there.
Yep. Fighters will clear the
smack
cobwebs.
dab on the right eye of Travis Pierzynski, but he seems to be no worse for the wear, so they're back at it.
See if that plays a factor. Mark tape in round 4. Pierzynski, the aggressor, after the incidental headbutt. Still squinting that right eye, though. We'll see if that plays a part. But again, it's one of those situations that it's at least he's making him think about things, even if he may not be able to 100% see where he's going. Meyer tried to throw something there over the top and missed. Oh, there's a nice body shot. Sell is in. Don't wait for him, Travis Pierzynski. And Tom Halstead in the camp of Charles Meyer telling him go to the body. And he obliges his coach. Now tries to send something over the top, but they were in too tight. Referee steps in and separates. Pierzynski, 10 seconds left in the round. This is where Myers made some hay and both men throwing punches and bunches. Oh my goodness.
That's what we just saw there in the last 10, 15 seconds, but I thought we'd see more of that in this fight coming into this. I think part of that is, depending upon, so much is dependent upon who your opponent is. Tyler Holton, who was Travis Pierzynski's opponent the last time he fought, certainly isn't as far along as Sir Charles Meyer in his career. So Pierzynski probably looked a little better than he maybe really is.
Right.
You know, because you're fighting a guy that's not as talented. Meyer's better defensively, but what we saw there from Pierzynski there, what we saw the last time when he fought Holton, we saw much more active, landing punches, taking punches as he was landing them, because those were some big exchanges. They were both landing punches. So I expected more of that, and maybe we'll get more of that.
Here we go. The fireworks began at the end of last round. Can they continue? It's an awful brisk pace. First time either of these fighters have gone 8 or have been scheduled for 8. It's interesting. Every single round of this fight has started the same way, where they're kind of working the jab, and then it ends with a flurry. Pretty even. Pierzynski, as Dan said earlier, a straight up and down throwback fighter. Gonna stand right in front of you. There's a nice shot to the left side of the body. Solar plexus, says Pete Wagner. Oh, there's a nice overhand right. Boy, he absolutely sent that one. And caught Pierzynski flush on the left side of his head. There's a nice body shot again. And Pierzynski fires right back. Back and forth we go from the convention center in Minneapolis. Another nice overhand right. Starting to become more prevalent here as the rounds go along. Pierzynski walking Meyer backwards.
Didn't throw any leather though, didn't?
Right.
Just started walking towards him, but he didn't throw any punches.
Oh, there's a nice shot. And Meyer answers back, snaps the neck. Trying to lean in and work that body. There's Pierzynski, fires in with a couple jabs. Now they tie up. 10 seconds left. And now's where we'll probably see more action. Nice job by Pierzynski and a nice shot to the body by Meyer. Touch gloves at the end of the round. This is a chess match through 5.
Well, I'd like to see, and I thought it was about to happen in the middle of that round. There is some, I thought I noticed some blood there. It seems on the inside bridge of the nose, kind of near the eye socket on Charles Meyer's left eye. Seemed to be, if it wasn't blood, it certainly wasn't welt. They're working on that right now in the corner. But I kind of thought what we saw at the end of the previous round, we were going to see a lot of that in that round. I thought they were both kind of saying, let's stop messing around.
Right.
Let's see who's got the best stuff here. And I think the crowd wants that right now. It's funny. This crowd has been very patient, hasn't been real loud, because there haven't, in any of these fights, there haven't been a lot of great exchanges other than the knockout, but I just think people are waiting for Truax Vanda. I think
they're saving it, and Pierzynski's not coming out in the 6th round, firing. Boy, a little jump to the step of Travis Pierzynski, and Meyer's got to find that intensity and match it. There's a nice shot to the jaw by the right hand of Travis Pierzynski. Nice shot to the body. Pierzynski, his best round by far. And this is what Dan Cole thought he'd see in the last round. There's a nice shot, both guys firing. And there is blood, I believe you're right, Dan, on the bridge of the nose of Charles Meyer. Oh, there's an overhand right once again. And now he's going to get the jab. Boy, he can settle in and he can have that whenever he wants it.
Yeah, he followed up with a nice left with that, too. Put together 2 nice punches. He needs to do more of that, more combinations. Because Brzezinski's starting to get more confident as the fight goes on. I'm thinking he's starting to think he can size Sir Charles up here.
Meyer working the body once again. The main event yet to come here tonight. But we're locked in a dandy. Myers throws a couple jabs, follows with a right to the body. Sixth round scheduled for 8. Whatever Hitman Hearns like there, a little bobbing and weaving, dodging punches, goes right back to the body. Oh, nice overhand right again. There's a left hand, found the jaw. That's one thing about Pierzynski. When he traded with Halton, kid's got a chin. One of the ring girls is, I'm not sure it's wife or if it's girlfriend, but one of the ring girls is the special love of the life of Travis Pierzynski. And she is yelling for her man to keep his hands up, which probably would be a good idea. Pierzynski trying to finish the round strong. As Meyer going backwards, 10 seconds in the round. Oh, you gotta love the way they trade at the end of the round.
I wish they'd start at the beginning of the round and do that.
Maybe we get it in round 7.
Well, there comes a time where, and you've probably heard me talk about this too, where it's either knock out or be knocked.
Right.
You know, I mean, you're both here. Like I said, Charles, this could be his last fight. I don't think Travis Brzezinski's going to be fighting the main event at Madison Square Garden anytime soon. So let's fight.
Right.
You know,
why not?
And I think we might see that before the fight's over. More of extended action. I hope so.
Yeah, Meyer ahead a little bit. Yeah. Round number 7. And again, I like the way Travis came out in the beginning of that last round. The aggressor, but then slowed down towards the end.
Yeah, 58-56. I had it from Meyer.
There's a nice overhand right. Split the gloves of Pierzynski. There's another nice shot. There's working the body, and then he sends that overhand right. That's been the story. Same verse every single chapter. There it is again. A nice shot to the body. Pierzynski lunges in.
Oh,
and that one hurt him. Oh, that's what he was waiting for all night long. There it was. Just like the Hitman.
Big left hook.
Absolutely.
Right on the button.
Tells the ref he's okay and follows it up. Smelling blood in the water. Oh, and he came with the left hook that time. We'll see if Meyer can close the deal. He's smelling blood here at the convention center in downtown Minneapolis. Pierzynski looks to be gassed here in the 7th round.
Yeah, Brzezinski's still not recovered completely. Charles could put together a nice combination. I think he could finish this fight right now.
Meyer with another good left hand. Takes a peek in. There it is. He's got him up against the ropes. Trying to figure out what to throw. Back-to-back overhand. One with the right, one with the left.
cut on the left cheek now, too, of Travis Brzezinski.
And Meyer just
Right
absolutely teeing off. Nice shot to the body by Sir Charles Meyer. Trying to finish the deal.
This is where Brzezinski's inexperience is starting to show a little bit. He needs to be moving. It's easy to say, but he should be moving a little more, really trying to tie Meyer up.
10 seconds left in the 7th round. And round 7.
He got out of the round, though.
He did. The kid is tough.
Yep.
No question. As we'll get a chance to take a look at the replay. Brought to you by Little Caesars. There's the shot that rocked the world of Travis Brzezinski, the left hand. It wasn't the overhand right. Watch it again. It's not the overhand right, Dan.
No.
It's the left hand.
No, it was left. No, it was left hook, yeah.
That caught him and sent him backwards. So after he'd been UPSing the right, here comes the left. Boom. Right on the bridge of the nose. It sends him reeling. But again, credit Brzezinski for hanging. And we'll see if he's got enough. He's got 3 minutes left. And we'll see if he's got enough. But you know Charles Meyer, if this is his last fight, he's trying to go for everything.
Yeah,
he's trying to leave it all
I mean, if you're just trying to walk out with a win, I had him ahead by 2 points. That's a 2-point round with the knockdown right there. He's got the fight well in hand unless he gets knocked out. So if you're thinking about your next fight, or if you're really intent on not going out with a glorious knockout, you just kind of don't take any risks here. But maybe you're right. Maybe he'll just say, I'm going to try to knock the guy out.
Brzezinski's, he knows he's got to go for it. He knows the time is now, the 8th and final round. Nice shot by Brzezinski over the top. Tries to throw that left and he ducks. Does Meyer. There's a nice overhand right. Shot to the body. Nice job by Brzezinski. Clearing the cobwebs and coming back out here for the 8th round. Travis not wincing, but definitely squinting.
He got hit pretty good there, too, with the right hand.
There's a nice jab by Meyer. Another nice shot to the body. Halfway through this 8th and final round. Meyer had Brzezinski down in the 7th, couldn't close the show, and he ducks it again. Nice left hand again, found the mark. Well, Meyer has found his comfort zone here in this fight. There's a combo. And there's another one, and a wild left hand, but that's the one that caught him flush before that knocked him down. Oh, there's a nice right hand by Brzezinski. And Meyer rocked a little bit. And Meyer down. Is it a push or is it a knockdown? It's a knockdown, and Meyer's saying it was a push.
Yeah.
You say potato, I say potato.
I thought it was a push as well.
And that's it.
Well, because it's ruled a knockdown, it'll be if you gave the round to Brzezinski. It's a 2-point round. I don't know if I give the round to him, so I think that does anything but even it to me.
Right.
I don't think it's going to make a difference.
I don't necessarily think that's a push. Can we see that again,
Let's
Wags?
see it again.
No, it's not a deliberate. There's no deliberate push. They get tied up, and we got it slowed down a little bit here. Yeah, no, he's going back. If anything, it's momentum taking him backwards. But
I think Scott Erickson called it right there.
That's a knockdown, says Pete Wagon.
I still believe Charles Meyer won the fight. I don't think that was enough to win it, but we'll see.
A good fight in our co-main event.
Yeah. Both kids slugged it out a little bit in there. The action was better late than it was early, but yeah, it was a good fight. Well, I'll tell you what I like, though, is going back before and talking to Matt Vanda, Caleb Truax, and just guys that have so much confidence in their abilities and just they've been there before.
Yep.
You can both tell they both feel, sometimes you can sense when a fighter.
I said Tommy Hearns. I got you. He's never going to let me live that down.
Oftentimes what you'll see, fighter will act confident, but he's really not.
Right.
These two guys both are so confident in their abilities, and they're both ready to fight. I think this could be really good. I'm expecting a terrific fight.
I don't think there's any faking going on in either camp, and I think both they think they have a game plan. I'll ask you a question in a minute. We'll get the official decision here momentarily from Mike Mellick as he surveys the cards, and here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, after the completion of 8 rounds, the judges have reached their decision. Judge Nelson scoring about 75-76. Judge Peralt scoring about 76-74. And Judge Jagger scoring about 76-74. The winner by majority decision, Sir!
So Charles Meyer with the win.
Close fight, as was indicated on the judges' scorecards. I thought so as well, and I thought it was the right decision.
Absolutely. Let's see if we can get comments here from Charles Meyer. Pete?
My wife is behind me, so she's watching. This might be Charles' last time fighting. So I want to say thanks to everybody who came out here. We go home, talk to my family, and see if that's the right decision for us to do. I love all you guys. My niece, that came out here tonight. Thank you, my coaches. And you guys, I don't do anything. They told me to remember. Hey, you bastard. I love you down there. Thanks for coming. My career's so far. Everybody have a great night. See you tonight. Let's get a little party out. What's up, baby?
He confirmed what you said.
He did.
He said that's it. He's done.
He did. And
why not?
Well, and
go
obviously
go out with a win.
Right.
Nice way to finish your career.
Not a bad way to do it. All right, so the tales of Truax and Vanda sparring in the gym are widespread to varying degrees of who got the better of whom. What I will say is this: that happened a long time ago. I mean, and in boxing terms, we're talking like 3 or 4 years. And so Caleb is a different fighter now than he was 3 or 4 years ago.
Than he was a year ago.
Absolutely. And so the question to you, Dan Cole, is this: Does Matt Vanda think he's going to get Caleb Truax A, and actually the Caleb Truax that we're going to see, or that he's going to see, is Caleb Truax B?
Oh, that's a good question. No, I think Vanda, because of his experience and where he's been and where he's at now, and He knows enough about the fight game. He knows Truax has gotten better. That being said, I still don't think he believes Truax is improved enough to be able to beat him. And as we've talked about numerous times, and Caleb's confirmed it himself, after he dropped Jermaine Taylor, former middleweight champion of the world, back in April on Showtime, since then he's been a changed man. He's have so much, he exudes confidence now. And he said it afterwards. He said, I sat there and I thought about it for him. I said, I know now I can hang and bang with these guys, and that's exactly what he did that night. And so you just start thinking, I'm sure he's thinking, if I can knock the former middleweight champion of the world down, I can beat all these other guys. And I think that's why he has the kind of confidence he does. But no, I think Matt thinks he's going to win, but he's got to know that it's not the same guy he saw back sparring 3 or 4 years ago.
It's interesting because I think Caleb has developed an offensive game off that Taylor fight. And I think he'd be the first to tell you that if I would have started that a little bit earlier, I think he probably would have had him. And so you look at that and what he's done since. His offensive game has come. He's always going to be a good counterpuncher. That's always going to be his deal. But he's figured the offensive game out, and he's forcing the issue a little bit more, which is a great thing.
Well, yeah, exactly. There have been over the years a lot of counterpunchers that have been very successful, won a lot of fights, made a lot of money, and won championships, but not as often as the guy that dictates the action and comes to fight. And Caleb always has been a guy, he's always previously, early in his career, been a slow starter, kind of wait, bring the fight to me rather than take the fight to the other fighter. And I think be interesting to see how he approaches this. The two styles of this, they always say it's such a cliche, styles makes fights, and Vanda's always been an aggressive fighter, but a smart fighter, and Truax has been more aggressive and been more of the, he's been more of a, the attack mode to start a fight, and I think we might see that tonight. It'll be interesting to see what happens. I think early on we might get a real good feel how the two fighters are going to approach it as far as their game plan goes.
As we wait for the main event, we're going to get the national anthem. And we'll get down to brass tacks and get down to business. This is a fight that, there hasn't been the venom, and I think both guys respect each other. And as we go up top, we'll have the national anthem.
And I want to hear a shout out. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, the reason we are able to have events like this is for those servicemen and women serving overseas, currently in Afghanistan, Iraq, around the world. I know a few of you tonight. Specialist Smith, Private Dave, Easter, my lovely wife, Sergeant Rashid, Sergeant Kim Glenn. I'm sure there's plenty more out there, but let's hear a big round of applause for our troops tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And now singing our national anthem tonight, Brittany Thelman, Miss Minnesota, USA, 2011. Take it away, Brittany. Oh, I like her.
Oh, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we marched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, get through the night, and that our flag was still oh say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Land of the free, in the home of
It is great to be in America. America! Woo!
So we're ready to go. The main event of the evening, Truax Vanda. 10 rounds for the Minnesota Middleweight Championship of the World. Matt, the Predator Vanda. 44 wins, 14 losses, 24 wins by way of knockout. And Caleb Golden Truax. 20 wins, 1 loss, and 12 wins and 1 draw, and 12 wins by way of knockout. And this thing could go any different number of ways to 12 different directions, just depending on which way the wind's blowing on Saturday night.
You know, you can see by Matt's record of only 24, I say only, 24 knockouts and 44 wins. And most of those knockouts were not the electrifying one-punch knockout. Matt's a fighter where wears you down a little bit, accumulation of punches, softens up his game, and then finishes it off. So to see him knock Truax out cold doesn't seem very likely. Caleb has 12 knockouts and 20 victories, so he's not necessarily a one knockout punch either. So I don't think we're going to see a quick ending where one punch knocks it out. But I think what we will see is 2 guys really try to work their game plans and try to get deep into the fight and then find a way to end it at that point.
Matt Vanda has carried Minnesota boxing on his shoulders for the better part of 2 decades. Made his professional debut in 1994 and started his career 28-0. And you can talk about the opponents and you can talk about some of the decisions, but the bottom line is he was 28-0 at one point in his career. He's had several coaches, he's had several managers, but there's one thing that Matt Vanda has always done, and that's whatever the hell Matt Vanda wants to do.
Yeah, that's for sure, and that's sometimes actually he's been his own worst enemy, as we know. But we've said it a couple times now. If you've been the main event of Madison Square Garden, they don't let just anybody. They don't just, hey, would you like to be the main event of Madison Square Garden? You have to earn that spot, and he earned it. So he can fight. He can take care of himself in the ring. He's got a lot going on. It's hard for me to pick a winner here. I think Truax's confidence and how much better he's gotten, I lean toward Truax, but because it's Vanda's last fight and he is going to be so emotional and he's so crafty and he's gotten to be such a better boxer the last couple of years, I wouldn't be surprised if Matt squeaks out a victory here as well. It should be really, really, I think it's going to be a terrific fight.
I think it is too, absolutely. Well, the crowd behind me is like filled up. I got all these Hell's Outcast guys behind me, and I'm, looking over my right shoulder and my left shoulder. And yeah, right. It's just exactly. But yeah. It is going to be. I mean, you said it, and it's cliche. Styles make fights. This is one of those that, again, I mentioned it before. Matt Vanda is the type of fighter, and I'm stealing this line, but you're not going to need MapQuest to find him.
Right.
He's going to be right in front of you, and Caleb knows that. But you said it best, when he might be as smart of a fighter that this state's ever seen.
Well, because he's been in with a lot of different, he's a globe-trotting fighter. He's fought all over the United States. He's fought in Mexico, and he's seen every style of fight. He takes any fight given. He never turned a fight down, so there's nothing. I don't think there's nothing Caleb's going to do that's going to. No, he's going to say, I've never seen this before. And I know that Caleb, had a real competitive fight against former world champ. I'm telling you right now, this is, if you want to say Jermaine Taylor, and I guess he was the middleweight champion of the world, so you'd have to say, arguably, he was the best opponent Caleb Truax ever had. This is the second best opponent he's ever had. And there's no question about it. He's fought some nice fighters, but he hasn't fought anybody like Matt Vanda.
Matt Vanda's last fight a year ago, suspended for failed a drug test,
Right.
which is something that has plagued him throughout his career. And early on, and he just kind of had trouble with the law and all that stuff.
Part of why I said he's been his own worst enemy many times.
But he's still here, and so
he's a likable kid. If you ever sit down and talk to him, I went back there. First thing he says is, "Common, good to see you. Glad you're here." And then he goes, "Aren't you ring announcing?" I said, "Not tonight. I'm doing the commentary." He goes, "Oh, it's my last fight. I was hoping you were going to be the guy in the ring for me." And he's just always so happy to see people. He's really genuinely a happy-go-lucky kind of person. But he gets in the ring and he's all business. It's funny you mentioned all the crowd standing behind you. They always talk about they'll invite certain college football teams to bowl games because their fans travel well. Vanda's fans travel very, very well. They follow him everywhere. They're as loyal as any fan base there is. Maybe not as many of them now. After you get to that point where you make or break your career, and he was at that pinnacle and got some big fights, and then the big fights don't turn out exactly what you want. Finally, you see you're not in the national picture anymore. And the fans start to not maybe come out as much if they see you're fighting a guy that might not have a big name like a Truax. But they're here in mass tonight because they know it's his last fight and they know it's against a good opponent. So, and there's a lot of Truax fans here, I'm sure too. But I think emotionally, because it's Matt's last fight and how much he's mentioned the east side of St. Paul, I think emotionally the crowd is really going to be pro Vanda here.
Absolutely. As we wait for the Predator, here he comes. Matt the Predator Vanda is on his way. Skeletor is in the building. 44 wins, 14 losses, 24 wins by way of knockout.
I love that he's wearing the Skeletor mask.
I do too.
I just love it.
I do too. And he's as motivated as he's ever been. He told me this is a dangerous fight for Caleb because he has nothing to lose. 8 weeks ago, Matt Vanda stepped on the scale and weighed 185 pounds. Now to me, I'd love to step on a scale and weigh 185. He hits the ring tonight at 164. In 8 weeks, the kid has dropped 21 pounds. And Dark Star's watching from up above, and he's got a ringside seat to one of the best fights in recent Minnesota history.
I like it. Dark didn't go to a lot of fights the last 2 years, but he always say, "Tom, give me a call on the way home. I'll be up." And we talk the fights the entire drive home. I tell him exactly what happened. I'll talk to him on the way home too.
I know you will. We're in the Hell's Outcast vest. Gives Jesse Kelly the bandana. Caleb Truax readies himself to enter the ring.
I think Matt told me once, and maybe I made this up or dreamt it, but I think after every win he would get a new tattoo. It's a lot of wins.
And 44 of them. Easy boys, easy boys. Caleb Truax enters the ring. 20 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw. Matt Vanda staring him down. This crowd is electric, and let's go upstairs.
First, a challenger in the red corner, standing 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing in at 164 pounds, and fighting out of Ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege to present to you the pride of the east side of St. Paul, Matt. And his opponent in the blue corner, standing 6 feet 1 inches tall, weighing in at 160 pounds, and fighting out of Osseo,
So here we go. That was about the most interesting. I'm telling you, this crowd is absolutely jacked up.
Yep.
And Matt the Predator Vanda one last time. One final ride for the Predator. Jesse Garza, his trainer, gives him a hug. Everybody clears the ring. It's Truax, it's Vanda, it's Mark Nelson, and we're ready to go. The main event for the Minnesota Middleweight Championship. And here we go. Who's going to get off first? You talked about that, Common. Nice shot to the body, and Caleb with a counter.
Well, historically, as we talked about early, Truax has changed gradually in his last few fights, but he's generally a counter puncher. Vanda a bit more aggressive over early on, but you can see Truax is not backing down at all. He's not waiting for Matt to get off first. They're going toe-to-toe right away early.
Back and forth we go in round number one. Vanda trying to be the bully here in the first. Vanda cut during sparring, had a cut at the bridge of his nose, and I talked to Mark Nelson before, and he goes, yeah, I know, I saw it. But it's not that it's in a dangerous spot, as the chance for the first time of Vanda here tonight. Caleb trying to work that jab. A shot to the body, maybe a little low. Where's Chuck Horton when you need him yelling low blows? There's Vanda with a couple shots to the body of his own.
One thing when a fighter's had 13 months off like Vanda, sometimes you worry about, we talked about it earlier fights about ring rust, but a guy like Vanda, while certainly you'd rather be more active coming into a fight like this, when you fought as often as he does, you don't forget a lot.
No.
There's not many things you leave, that you're forgotten about in a boxing ring.
Vanda with a couple body shots, now comes back over the top. Right in front of us. Caleb finds an uppercut. Now Vanda comes back with a flurry. There's a nice overhand shot by Caleb, and Vanda comes right back. Oh, that caught Vanda, and that opened that cut back up. That's the end of the first round. What do you think?
Well, kind of what I'm expecting, as you talked about before, there was a day when Truax would have sat there and kind of waited around a little bit, counterpunch, see what the other guy had to offer. But after Vanda came out of the attack at the opening bell, Truax answered back, and then they just kind of both went back and forth exchanging. What's really, for me, it's such a joy to watch two guys that are good defensive fighters, too. I mean, I know Vanda can get hit, but right there, a lot of the punches that Truax threw, if you watch some of these here, they're glancing blows. He's moving back. He's catching part glove. Matt's a really good defensive fighter, as is Truax, and so really spirited first round. I like the action, real close round too. Hard to really give it to anybody there.
So the 5,000 people in attendance here at the convention center getting their money's worth. Here we go, round two.
And true to form, Vanda comes out right away, moves across the ring, and starts to attack first.
Now Truax back. That's the one thing he did, starting with really the Coley fight. I thought Caleb did a better job of taking the action to Coley, and I think that started then. Up until that point, he was just kind of going to wait you out, and that's why his two fights with Phil Williams weren't necessarily. I mean, they weren't yawners. You're never going to say, but one of those situations where they both counter-punchers going to sit and wait each other out. That's a slip. Yep, that's a slip. Truax firing that jab.
Yeah, good stiff jab there. Good right hand, but Matt blocked most of it with his glove.
There's an uppercut by Caleb, trying to find a hole to go to work. Matt throwing punches and bunches. That's what got him to here. The kid can absolutely fire. And Caleb's doing a good job here in round number two. Didn't take any time off really between this fight and his last. Stayed in good shape.
Good stiff left jab there by Truax.
There's another one. No question, Matt's been in with the best of the best as the chant of Caleb starts up. Oh, nice shot to the body by Caleb. Oh, and he went for the home run and missed. Like he was back at the Osseo baseball diamond trying to hit one over the left field fence.
Pretty good football player, and injury, I think a broken ankle. Got him into boxing. Try to get himself back into shape. Fell in love with the game, and here he is.
Caleb told me it's interesting. I asked him, what the tunnel vision things fighters will tell you. They got, they can hear some voices, and he said, I can hear my corner. I can always hear Tony G, but then there's one person in the crowd that I can always hear, and I can hear him the whole fight. But it was interesting when he said, Tony's one of those guys that I just, no matter where he's at, I can always hear him. 10 seconds left in round number two. Caleb backing Matt up. Now Matt firing back. That's the end of round two. Good round.
Just so you don't start hearing voices in your head.
That's
as long as you don't feel those.
That's
Boy, another really good round. Again, another tough round to score. I think I like Caleb in that round. I think I like Matt in the first round. I think I got it about a round apiece right now.
As you take a look at some of the replays brought to you by Little Caesars. Good action. And there's the slip. No question about it. Almost like he got his right foot caught underneath his left and he just went sideways, you know? Just one of those deals. Round number 3.
Working on a slight swelling under Caleb's left eye.
Matt Vanda told Truax, I'm taking you to hell and I'm not planning on bringing you back. Nice shot to the body by Matt. And now Caleb comes back with an overhand right. He's got Matt backed up. And now Vanda flurries back. Oh, we got action in the third.
Yeah,
nice
Caleb
body shot by the Predator.
Caleb had Vanda up on the ropes, and then Vanda spun him around, but now Caleb's got him in the center of the ring and hit him with another right uppercut. Best action of the fight.
No question. They get their bearings, and now another left uppercut by Caleb. Got him up against the ropes again. Nice body shot by Vanda. Caleb comes back with a couple of his own. Truax on the offensive here in round 3. Now Vanda looking to tee off. Oh, Caleb with the old okey doke.
Yeah, Truax landed some really heavy blows in the last minute or so, but a great right hand by Vanda, his best punch of the fight.
Yep.
Drew a smile from Caleb, but as you mentioned earlier, generally when a guy smiles, that knows that you stung him a little bit.
Great action here from the Minneapolis Convention Center. Round 3, scheduled for 10 for the Minnesota Middleweight Championship.
Boy, that experience that Truax has gained now, he kind of gave him a little shoulder shove, you know, and out of the view of referee Mark Nelson, kind of pushed Vanda into the ropes. Just guys that know the tricks of the trade, really know how to fight.
That one came in a little bit low. Mark Nelson didn't see that one. They back him away, and here we go again. That one caught the gloves. As we near the end of round number 3. Caleb trying to win the round late. That's one of the things he talked about in his camp. Keep coming at the end and you can steal one. And that's the end of the third. Oof.
Boy, yeah, that was the best round of the fight.
Absolutely.
And they both had some moments offensively, but I think Truax landed the more telling blows. Though I really like the way Vanda came back after it almost looked like, I don't think Vanda was hurt, but it almost looked as if he was hurt. And then Vanda immediately went on the offensive, spun Truax around and forced him into the ropes like a veteran fighter would.
Yep, absolutely. Great job, Pete Wagner, by the replays there. As we get set for round number 4. Now you hear his corner, be first, be first. Jesse Garza telling him, be first. You know, interesting story about Jesse Garza. When Matt, and there's a nice flurry by Caleb. Oh man!
I think he's got Matt hurt.
I think you're right. There's another shot. An uppercut. Does he have what it takes to finish the deal is the question.
Well, maybe he wasn't hurt because he's come right back. and he's thrown punches.
Jesse Garza was in the corner of Kenny Koss. There's another shot by Truax when Matt fought Kenny. There's a nice combo by the Predator. And Caleb right back. Jesse told me when I was in their camp that he was actually in the corner of Yuri Boy campus when they fought the first time. There's a nice overhand right by Truax. There's the left jab. Oh, he's just teeing off on him, Dan. Now the big question is Matt playing possum and have a little bit left?
Well, don't ever let anybody tell you that Vanda can't take a punch, because
Correct.
he's always had a big chin, really strong chin.
Only twice has he been knocked out. The last time came in his last fight against Marco Rubio. Now they tie up. Mark Nelson takes a peek in, and here come the chance of Vanda again. Trying to pick the Predator up here in round number 3. There's an overhand right, caught Caleb in the head. Oh, there's a nice shot. 10 seconds left in the round. Matt knows it, and the Predator fires back. There it is, the end of the round.
Well, you couldn't have drew it up any better for Truax. I mean, that's exactly how they would like every round to progress the rest of the fight. Truax generally dictated to the action. He landed the heavier punches. He had Vanda on his heels for much of the round. Matt had his moments, but that was another Truax round. And I tell you what, if you told them they could have every round go just like that, they'd take that to the bank, right to the end of the fight, and they'd win a lopsided decision.
Good fourth round for Truax.
You know, that's what I don't know. Vanda, I think he can land punches. He's shown he can. He can get to Truax, but I don't know if he can hurt Truax enough. It's going to have to be an accumulation of punches, and he's going to have to find a way to stay away from the heavy artillery from Caleb. Nice stiff jab by Truax right away.
Yeah, we talked about it all night long, getting off first, and Truax, Vanda's had the better of it early in each of the first 4. But in round 5, Caleb comes out the aggressor. Boy, Matt lunging in and that jab, and Caleb just about caught him over the top. Nice shot to the body by Caleb. Not a whole lot behind it, though. That one had a little bit more, and he caught him with an uppercut. It's interesting, again, when you spend as much time as I have with these guys over the last 8 weeks. Jim Marine, who's in the corner of Truax, in one of the sparring sessions says, you got to be careful when you're leaning in, because Matt does the same thing. And Jim's been in Matt's corner before, and he made the comment that, look, if you guys headbutt, you're going to cut, Matt's not. So many subplots and storylines in this one. There's a nice shot by Vanda. Got the right arm of Truax. Didn't do any damage, obviously, but not as much action in this round up to this point. Round 5 of 10.
I think Vanda will not facially expressing it, but I got to think he's getting a bit frustrated because he's having trouble getting any kind of consistent attack against Truax that's slowing Caleb down. He just got hit with the right hand and took a couple of steps back. Right now, Caleb is delivering the more telling blows.
Absolutely, no question about it. But Matt, game as he is, steps right back into it. Ten seconds left in the 5th. Caleb catches him with an overhand right. Trying to finish the round hard again. And you said it, the look on his face as he's coming to the corner. I think Caleb's got Matt frustrated, Dan. I think you hit that one right on the head.
There comes a time in a guy's career, too, and I'm not saying this is where Vanda is right now, but your last fight, you're in there giving as good as you're getting, but you're really not.
Right.
You're getting worse than you're giving, and sometimes I don't know if there comes a time in a fight or in your career where you go, man, this is it, and I don't know if I'm not saying Vanda feels that, but you wonder if those things start to go through your head, because he's hit Vanda with some Truax with some combinations, but they really haven't slowed Caleb down at all. And there have been times where Caleb's combinations in his attack has forced Vanda backwards, and he's had to cover up. Matt will never stop coming forward.
No. It's just what he is. It's who he is. Round number 6. Truax again firing off the jab early. And he's just not letting Matt get anything off. And there's a couple uppercuts right in front of us. Oh, there's a flurry of punches from the Predator. That jab caught Caleb. But Truax right back. Nice shot to the body. Oh, Truax ducked that, and instead of backing off, he stayed right with it and went right back to work. There's the Predator with a combination. Now Caleb comes back with one. A nice uppercut. That caught the Predator. And now Mark Nelson will step in and separate. Cerebral is Caleb Truax. Surgeon-like. And he's picking Vanda apart here.
What I find interesting and obviously unfortunate for Vanda is, for me, this might be his best round since the first, yet I don't think he's done enough to win the round, if that makes any sense.
And Caleb's got him up against the ropes, and he's teeing off and working the body. We saw this in his last fight against Michael Walker that just absolutely took whatever he wanted to. Heading towards the tail end of round number 6. The main event in the fight everybody's been talking about. Right in the corner again. Caleb trying to steal around late. And that's the end of 6.
Does that make any sense?
Yeah, it does.
It may have been Vanda's best round, but since the first. I thought Vanda won the first round.
I did too.
I think he's been shut out since. You could give that round, I suppose, to Vanda, but I'd be hard-pressed to.
So is there any adjustments you make now? Or do you kind of just gotta let it go and just go for it?
Yeah, again, easy to say sitting ringside when you're not one that eating the leather, but if Vanda and his corner are honest with themselves, they have to realize, I mean, I'm not saying my scorecard's dead accurate. I've got a pretty lopsided right now. You may have given Vanda a round somewhere in there, but you gotta know you got to do something right now. I mean, you got to start slowing Truax down, make him respect you a little bit more, and start to inflict some damage.
Round 7. Scheduled for 10. And every time Vanda comes out with something, Caleb has an answer.
Yeah, he's scoring with some pretty heavy punches right now, but Matt's got a great chin. Matt started out the round real nice because you can tell he knows he's coming out with a sense of purpose because he knows there's desperation starting to set in. Maybe desperation is too strong, or maybe a sense of urgency. There's a sense of urgency here that you got to pick it up here. You got to start winning some rounds.
I think your adjective fits. I think either way you want to go with it. I think there's something to be said. Caleb catches him with an overhand right. The fans trying to pick Matt up. Nice shot to the body by Vanda. And a couple more, and an uppercut as Mark Nelson tried to step in to get him separated. Matt, away from the fight game for the last year, holding a torch in his real job, working at the Schmidt Armory in downtown. A job with the union. He was retired and said, you know what, I got one more in me, and this is the one that I want. Had offers to fight and just didn't have an interest until Tony Grigelko came knocking and said, let's do this one more time. Tony G yelling, you got to keep throwing. He doesn't move his head. There's another shot to the body and an overhand right to the side of Matt Vanda's head. Final 10 seconds of round number 7. And Matt ends the round strong. That might have stolen him that round.
It didn't on my scorecard.
Not that close.
I didn't have it that close. I mean, I thought Matt, again, I just think the exchanges generally favored Truax. Even when Vanda lands, Truax always seems to have an answer, and he seems to be delivering the more telling blows. If I meant urgency last round, I will swap for desperation.
Desperate now.
I think Vanda really has to. You know, in Truax, he just seems to be all business-like. It's just nothing phases him. It's just, even when Vanda slows him down temporarily, it's boom, right back at it. Let's go right back at it, and he goes right back to business, trying to dictate the action, and he's done an effective job of it.
To your point, in the whole pre-fight thing during the announcement, it was all emotion for Matt Vanda, and Caleb was just stone-faced and just, he was Caleb Truax, because that's just the way the kid is. That might have woke Matt Vanda up. Yeah, he says he got nothing. Sends it overhand right and sends the crowd into a frenzy. This is the Matt Vanda they came to see. Win, lose, draw, it doesn't matter. Another nice shot over the top by Truax. Just jockeying for position and nobody really getting any sense of an upper hand, and there Caleb sends a shot up. Jesse Garza telling Matt to,
well, as long as
an
Vanda's
uppercut.
in close now, he needs to try to do some work, because I think in the early part of the round he expended a lot of energy. He took command in that round, but now he's trying to hang on a little bit, weather the storm a little bit, then go back at it, try to steal the round late.
There's a nice 1-2 by Vanda. But again, Dan, we've said it so many times throughout the course of tonight. Every time Matt comes with something, Caleb's got something else, and he just answers. Tom Halstead, Ron Like, Jimmy Marine look on from Truax's corner. Oh, there's a nice shot. And Caleb sticking right to it. He's putting the pressure on, and Mark Nelson steps in and says, watch the heads, gentlemen. There's a nice right hand again by Truax.
What I like, though, what Vanda's done here in this round is when Caleb has scored, he hasn't let it multiply
Right.
with 3, 4, 5, 6 punches. It's been 1 or 2, and then he's fought back. He won the early part of this round. This is his best round since the first round, I think.
But we'll see if Truax can finish strong. 10 seconds left. Nice overhand right. And the Skeletor answers. Matt gives him a look, turns and heads back to the corner. Henry Lake is loving it. This might have been the best round of the fight right here. For
Matt, it certainly was, and it may have been some of the best exchanges of the bout. And that's the first round I've given Vanda since the first round. I think he has to win by knockout again. We don't know what the other scorecards look like. A couple of those rounds maybe could have gone the other way. Even if you want to give Matt a couple of those rounds, and I think you would only give him a couple of rounds at best, I think he's behind in the scorecards and needs a knockout to win.
I think what you saw him do in that round, he slowed the pace. He got in tight, and there was a lot of inside stuff that went on. But
I think that's why he won that round in my eyes, because the first minute, he won the first minute of the round. Then after that, he basically tied Truax up and give him a chance to score.
Round number 9. Final 2 rounds of Matt Vanda's professional career. Nice shot to the body, followed by a right uppercut by Truax. Another blistering shot to the body. if you're Vanda, when do you turn on the gas and just start? I mean, you got to.
I think he has tried, and he's been continuing to try it even in this round as well, but I just don't think he hits as heavy as Truax does right now.
There's a comeback by the Predator, and Truax has an answer
Well,
again.
it was a big right hand by Truax.
Yep. Well, the difference in Truax is that shot went right over the top. There'd be an old Caleb that would sit back and counterpunch and nobody was ahead, and he's still coming at him. As Matt making some noise here in the tail end of round number 9. Nice overhand right by Truax. And Vanda throwing shots of his own, hits him with the left, throwing everything he's got at him. Oh, and Caleb gives him a smile. This is what they came to see. Jesse Garza pounding on the canvas, imploring Matt Vanda. 10 seconds left in the 9th round. And we go to the 10th and final round. You get the replay here.
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise, get behind your fighters. The last round is upon us. Make some noise, Minnesota!
Love him, hate him, it doesn't matter. You have to respect what Matt Vanda does, and he's about to begin his last 3 minutes as a professional fighter. He gives a salute. They touch it up. And here we go. Final round. The crowd on their feet. It has been everything that we thought it would be. Oh, there's a nice overhand right by Caleb. There's another one, and Vanda right back. As the Vanda and Caleb chants fill the convention center. Nice body shot by Truax. There's a nice shot again over the top. Vanda puts his gloves down and sticks his chin out. And in typical Predator fashion, didn't flip him the middle finger, but just as could have easily have. Caleb still coming forward, still pressing. As we reach the end of the fight. That caught him flush on the jaw. Matt fires back. 10 seconds left in the fight. Here we go. That's it. That's it.
Yeah, really good fight. Well, as you would expect, Vanda gave it everything he got from the beginning of the fight to the very end of the fight, and I've never seen him do any more or any less. He may not have won every fight. Obviously, the record would indicate that, but as we said before, when you walk out of here, every customer knows they got their money's worth. I had it a good competitive fight. Vanda came on late, but the old too little too late. I've got the fight 97-94, or 93. For Truax, 97-93. We'll see if the
how
judges
close you are.
agree.
Normally you're pretty close.
Judges are Denny Nelson, long-time referee, and judge Tim Taggart Sr. and John Mariano. The three judges will see how they saw the fight. I was tempted to give Vanda the last round just because it was his last round.
Right.
Real tempted.
Here we go.
Judge Denny Nelson scoring about 99-92. Judge John Mariano scoring at 97-93. And Judge Tim Taggart scoring at 96-94. The winner by unanimous decision. And still,
well, one judge had it a little more lopsided. The other two were in the ballpark where I was. Matt Vanda's game as they come. Caleb, I think it's the confidence we talked about. It was just a little too much Truax tonight for Matt Vanda.
As is the case, won't say anything. It's just not him. That's not him.
Well,
that's a hell of a fight.
A lot of his longtime fans are here. It'll be a long walk to the dressing room.
Nice job. Thank you. Thank you so much. Nice job. Thank you.
It'll be a long walk to the dressing room for the Predator because he'll have a lot of people that will want to shake his hand and give him a big hug.
Let's see if we can get into what Caleb's got going.
Everybody please give Matt a round of applause.
Let's give it up for Matt, ladies and gentlemen. Matt Vanda, big round of applause. So you feel scoring with Matt back in the game, helped you in this fight, you got to know him a little bit better?
I don't know what helped me win the fight, but it helped me just progressing as a professional. Got the 2 years for it. Caleb,
you are definitely coming to your prime. when you fought Taylor, you were not going to world-class fighter. You got the knockout in the ninth, and you continued to earn grade. You know, do you have anyone set in your sights to defend his title against?
I just want to fight whoever it doesn't matter.
You've done a great job, man. You know, again, class act as always. Anyone you want to thank out there tonight? Anyone you'd like to thank out there tonight?
Yeah, I want to thank my family, all my fans for coming, all my friends, and my team, Tony, Brett, Tim, Tom, the manager Ron, the company Jim. We worked real hard for this fight, and the fight we wanted for a long time. We finally got it. So I'm happy to be here.
Okay, one more thing. I'll let you go celebrate this victory. You know when we can see you get this ring next and defend this title? Do you have any idea?
Hopefully March. I'll let Tony and Brett and Tim figure it out, but just going to chill and relax for a couple days.
You got a peg, right? Wow, all right. Skills and everything you do. Well, ladies and gentlemen, one more time for Golden.
Truax ups his record to 21-1-1. His lone loss to Jermaine Taylor. And now he sets himself up nicely for a nice payday. And maybe a Jermaine Taylor rematch, you never know.
Well, I think there was going to be an announcement, and I don't know if it's going to come shortly, but I think there was something. I mean, it's close to set. I don't know if you know.
I don't.
I don't, but matter of fact, I was told one of those, I'd tell you, but I'd have to kill you.
Right.
But I hear that if Truax were to win the fight, there was going to be a pretty big announcement that he was going to get a really big fight, and maybe it is the Taylor rematch or something else.
We'll see. As we get ready to blow home, not go home, it winds 50 miles an hour. Your thoughts as we close the chapter on one of the most, I don't want to call him the best fighter because he's never going to be known as the best fighter, but when you think Minnesota boxing, when you talk Minnesota boxing, the first name that comes to mind is Matt Vanda. So we close the door and close the chapter. Your thoughts on the career of Matt?
Well, there have been a lot of great fighters out of Minnesota. You know, Bobbick and Ledoux, and you go back to the Flanagans, and it's a very long list. Certainly Matt, in the last 20 years, has been the most recognizable name, maybe the most competitive fighter. And, you know, I don't know, I'm not going to start ranking, you know, right, because you'd have to go back and look, but he certainly is, he's got to be somewhere in the top 10 of all Minnesota fighters. I believe, in my opinion, I'd put him in the top 10. And, you know, we said it at the very beginning, you leave, you know you got your money's worth. He always gave it everything he got.
Yeah.
He never left anything in the corner, in the locker room. We talked about maybe his own worst enemy for some of the things that happened outside the ring. But I was proud of him tonight. I kind of thought it was going to end this way. And this fight 5 years ago, well, let's take that back. Of course, 5 years ago, Caleb wasn't where he was. But if you could take Matt back 5 years, it might be different. I don't know. Because Matt is long in the tooth, the twilight of his career. And Caleb has so much confidence right now. We've talked about it several times since he dropped Taylor, the former middleweight champ, in the 9th round on Showtime back in April. Since then, he's just been a different fighter. Confident, feeling like he belongs there, knows what he wants to do, has a real definite purpose when he gets in the ring and doesn't take a step back, and just looked really sharp again tonight against, I think we both agree with this, that's the second. If you want to say Jermaine Taylor was the best fighter ever fought, that's the second best fighter ever fought. And you could see the mutual respect between the two right after the fight when they, they embraced.
Absolutely.
And you could see they had things to say to each other too. It wasn't just the hug and go the other way. They had several things to say. I liked before the last round, when Matt knew, he looked back at his crowd and he gave the old Vanda, like the old dagger.
Yep.
Which he's famous for. He wanted to give the crowd everything they wanted in that 10th and final round, and he did. And Matt had a terrific career, and he has nothing to be ashamed of or hang. As he can walk out of the Minneapolis auditorium with his head held high. He had a terrific career, and he was a really good. And again, can I say it again? When you've main evented at Madison Square Garden, that's That's all you need to know.
Big Apple, you know you've arrived. That's going to do it here tonight from the Convention Center. Dan Poole, nice job as always.
Thank you.
Want to thank our entire team. Pete Wagner joining the controls from the Convention Center in downtown Minneapolis. Caleb Golden Truax moves to 21-1-1. And we'll see you next time. Good night, everybody.